can't believe I'm about to tell this story because I haven't really told many people this story. Well, not publicly here on the internet and all of that, but I felt like it was important. I've been getting a few people ask me about what it's like joining a brokerage, and so I figured that I would tell you all my experience that I had joining one of the brokerages that I was a part of for a long time. So this isn't talking about where I'm at right now, and I'm not going to use any names or anything like that just to protect their identities and stuff, but I do feel like this was probably one of the most dramatic experiences that I've ever had joining a firm, and so I want to tell you what it was like joining a real estate brokerage.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash and the stick is...
I'm putting it all out there in this video, so I'm just gonna ask that you do this one thing for me. Please hit that like button below, so that thumbs up button. It'll really help me out in the algorithms. I truly appreciate it when y'all do that. That's all I'm asking. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let's get into this. So I was at home one night. I received a Facebook message from someone who I was connected to. They sent me a message. It was real short and sweet. It said, "Hey, my broker blank wants to meet with you." I had already been in the real estate business for some time now, and so I thought that this meeting was just about a listing or a buyer or something like that. This broker is a pretty big deal here in the city, and so I was just like, oh, well, maybe these brokers up here, they meet face to face to present offers and all that kind of stuff. And so I was just like, okay, what time does he want to meet? And she was like, give me a second, I'll be right back, I'm gonna ask him. So she comes back and asks me, can I meet tomorrow? So she was talking about the next day at 11, I want to say it was like 11:30 or so. And I was like, great, yeah. I'm just gonna show up for this person because, you know, if this person wants to meet with me, it's kind of a big deal and I don't want to go outside of any time that they want to meet. So we went ahead and confirmed the appointment. I was set to meet with this broker the next day at 11:30 a.m. I was kind of like getting all my listing information together. I was like, okay, is he calling about this property? Oh, he's probably calling about this highest one that I have. So I made sure like I had all the information. I get there the next day and I get there pretty early. Well, not too terribly early, but I get to where the office was located pretty early because I didn't want to be late to the meeting. So I wanted to make sure that I knew where the suite was and all that good stuff. So I walk into the suite. I was presented with a very nice receptionist. She asked me what my name was, led me to the conference room. She saw that I had an appointment. She led me to the conference room. Shortly after I sat down, she offered me a glass of water. I was like, great, okay, I'll have the glass of water. So just imagine this big conference table. It was this long brown table. I'm sitting on the side closest to the window. Eventually, when he comes in, he's sitting on the opposite side of me. Before he actually comes in, the office manager comes in. Lovely lady, very nice lady. She comes in and she's just asking me a little bit about myself, so what my name was, how long I've been in real estate, and this and that. And you know, I was just sitting there having a conversation with her, drinking my glass of water. Eventually he comes in and he sits in the empty seat. So he's sitting across from me. The office manager is sitting to the left of me, kind of in a triangle, right? So we're all sitting there, and what's going through my head is I'm like, this is real intense for, you know, just presenting an offer. My friend who invited me there, she wasn't in this meeting, so she wasn't even there, and I was just kind of wondering where she was. This plant is just really... My bad, y'all. So she wasn't even in this meeting. So we're sitting there. He sits down. The office manager, she wraps up what she's saying to me. So now just looking at each other. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's sitting real comfortable and I'm sitting there, you know, just a little engaged. And so he goes, so what's up? I go, what's up with you? He's like, so why do you want to join this firm? And I said to him, join this firm? And he was like, yeah, aren't you here for an interview? And I was like, no, I'm not here for an interview. So then he goes, so why are you here? Honestly, y'all, I was like, I don't know why I'm here. And I told him, I was like, I don't know. Such and such invited me. She said you wanted to meet with me. Here we are. So then he goes, okay, hold on, I'll be right back. So I'm sitting there now like, what is going on? I didn't know like what was happening. Obviously by this point, he's thinking it's an interview. I'm thinking it's something else. I didn't really even know what I could be thinking, but like I said, I thought it was about an offer or something. The office manager, she's just sitting there. She wasn't really saying anything. She was looking at me. Then the broker comes back, right? He comes back in there and he's like, this is an interview. You know, we think that you'd be great here. We've been following you and all this kind of stuff. I didn't really believe him, but I kind of did believe him. And so, you know, we were just sitting there. I just straight up and was like, look, I don't have any intentions on leaving the brokerage that I was at. I was at 100% broker. I was just there this morning. I had came from the brokerage that I was an agent at and came over to this brokerage for an interview that I didn't know that I was having. You know, I was just very polite and I was like, no, I'm not looking for a new brokerage and this and that. Then he starts asking me about what I'm trying to do in real estate and what I want to do in my real estate career. Let me just backtrack and say this brokerage, it was a great brokerage. Like it's a great brokerage. They had a name. I knew a lot of people at the brokerage. I had followed them on social media. So it was kind of one of those things where it was like a privilege to be there. It wasn't like when I was trying to be there. You know, if I was going to join this brokerage, I wanted to do it like when I wanted to. I wanted to reach out to them and see if I can have an interview. But I was kind of circled into an interview. If that makes sense. You know, he's asking me like what I want to do in real estate and what my goals are. And I'm telling him, he's saying how they can help me. In my head, I knew that they can help me. Like I knew that they could because of the type of real estate that they did and who they were. I've been hearing about their name for a while. I knew that they could help me. But like I was saying, I wasn't really ready for that. So we discussed everything. Like I was getting inquisitive. I was like, well, what are the fees? What are the splits? What's the you know, all the stuff that you ask when you're interviewing. What's the training like? How do the agents do here? All this kind of stuff. So I'm asking all of that. Even though in my mind I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'm happy where I am and all that good stuff. But I just wanted the information at that point since I was there. You know, it's like, why not just get the information? We went through all of that. They told me all the information. So then he's like, all right, so you want to join? And so then I said, no, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to talk to my broker. I'm going to see what I want to do. Then he lays this bombshell on me. Oh no, there's none of that. Like once you leave this room today, then that's it. Like that was your opportunity. And I was like, well, I said some stuff in my head. He was like, this will be your one and only shot. I wasn't big in real estate. I didn't have just this booming business. And I remember this one time someone told me, if an opportunity presents itself and it's a good opportunity, you better take it right then and there. I just felt so bad. I was like, I can't do that to my broker. He had done a lot for me. I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. He basically told me, he said like, really think about it. I'm gonna leave the room and I'm gonna come back and really think about it. So he leaves the room. The office manager is sitting there with me. So she's talking to me about the brokerage, telling me how great it is. Sweet, sweet lady. I mean, I love her to this day. Telling me how great this brokerage is and that I should really consider it. And in my head, I am considering it. I'm thinking about it, but I'm thinking that I can't make this decision right then and there. But I can tell that these people were serious and that if I walked out of this room, then I wasn't gonna be invited back and that was gonna be my one and only shot. So y'all, legit, I tell you, I got out of my chair. I went and sat on the floor in the corner because by this time I'm like, oh Lord, like what am I gonna do? I'm freaking out. Like this was so much pressure being put on me one time. I'm on the floor. The broker comes back in and he sees me down there on the floor and he's kind of like, what's going on here? I'm on the floor having a little breakdown. The office manager, you know, she's trying to console me. I wasn't crying or nothing, but I was just like, yo, I can't think about this. Like my chest was tight. I felt like I was having just like a little mini panic attack. So then they had went and got another agent. So this was an agent that I kind of had a little connection with prior to me being in there. So she came in there, they left the room. So the broker and the office manager left the room, and she's just in there talking to me. She's like, Chastin, like, this is the place that you need to be. I mean, you just belong here. It's great. I've been here. And I was just like, yeah, but I can't make this decision right now. Like, that's just not right to do to my previous broker. I mean, to the brokerage that I was with. It's just not right to do. I told her, I was like, I just can't do this right now. Broker comes back in, office manager comes back in. They say, okay, so what's the decision? I said, guys, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm gonna have to respectfully decline. They said, all right, and walked out. And then I gathered my things and walked out the front door of the office. So I'm at the elevator about to go back down, and here comes my friend coming out there. So the girl who had came in last to speak with me and tell me how great it is. So she comes out there and she's like, oh my gosh, you told him no? She was like, nobody's ever told him no. And I was like, well, I mean, I just told him no. And then she was like, are you sure that you want to do this? And I was just kind of like, I'm not sure, but I just wouldn't feel good as a person knowing that I was just laughing and joking with the brokerage that I belong to. I was just there with the broker. We were having a good time, and now I'm here. Like, I wouldn't feel right, and it would keep me up at night. And so if I would have got a chance to think about it, then maybe, but I can't do it right now. So I'm just gonna have to leave it. I left. I literally left that day. I left, got in my car, and drove. Of course, my ride home, I was just like, what did I just do? So I got home later that night. I want to say it was around 6:30 or so that night. I get a text message from this broker, and he was like, hey, I can tell you were conflicted, or something along those lines, and I don't normally do this, but let me know by noon tomorrow. You all, that was honestly all I needed. I just needed time. So once he told me that, I reached out to my broker around 9 o'clock that night, and I was like, hey man, yeah, I'm gonna go join this other firm. He asked me what the name of it was. I told him. He had pulled some sales records. He was like, take a look at this. It's not all that it seems like it's gonna be. I had already made up in my mind at that point that I was joining this firm, and I was just like, look, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make the best of it. After I told him that, he gave me his blessing. He was like, let me know if I can do anything. Really, really, really good broker. Like, he was still supportive. So after I did that, I texted the new broker. I was just on the floor in his office, and I told him I'm coming over. He wrote back, good choice. Went back the next day and signed the paperwork. That was my experience joining a brokerage. I stayed there for a very long time, learned a lot, did some great things, love everybody there. That was what my experience was like. Now, not saying yours will be anything like that. Keep in mind, I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. It was true to being one of those things where when a good opportunity presents itself, you gotta take it, because you may not be like me and get that second shot. I just wanted to share that story with y'all. Let me know down in the comments what your reactions are to my experience joining that real estate brokerage. Please subscribe, give me that thumbs up. Like I said before, that's all I ask. And until next time, I'm Chastin J Miles, and I will talk to you soon.
I get it, target on me, so my car's a tinny. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side, but I'm from the east side. This how we slide, this how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.